Hey y'all, story time. What is this? Hey y'all, we are doing story times tonight. Updated story times from how I ended up getting the time in prison and what led me to going to prison. Mhm. 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 Just let y'all come on in. Hey y'all, story time. Let's go down. Oh, I don't need. We can go back to the keyboard. Ain't but one person in the room. Today is Wednesday. Oh yeah, we all should be hanging out tonight. So y'all do know today is the first day of Black History Month. Ain't that something? Sort of. Tom Brady decided he ain't want to play football no more today. They gonna miss out on the story time. Y'all better come on in this room. Then they gonna be mad because I ain't gonna post it on TikTok. I'm gonna post a little bit on a snippet on TikTok, and I'm gonna still. I don't know what TikTok got going on at this point. Hmm. Y'all get in the comments. Tell me that y'all in here. What is this? Somebody texting me. Vanessa. Hey, honey. So Vanessa tonight, so my TikTok followers are want all this. They want my story times, but they want me to do the story times on my TikTok. But TikTok keep um banning my page, or should I say, not banning it, but slowing your views down on your videos every time I seem like I post a story time on that. So I just said I really for them to come over here to watch it, so it don't be like it won't mess up my page over there. So yeah, they just don't want to. They don't want to revert over to YouTube. They just want me to stay directly on TikTok, basically, because they still asking me right now. That's what I'm looking at, y'all. So it's a part 7. So on my new TikTok, I was doing the story times over because a lot of people didn't want to click the link in my bio to go to my YouTube channel to see the story time that's already up there. So we're just an updated version, maybe a more detailed version of how I end up getting the time in prison, and how I just like how it what led me up to going to prison. Like I told y'all about the podcast, how a lot of young ladies gonna come on here and talk about how they end up going to jail, how they end up getting in trouble, what led them up to getting in trouble. So that's basically what it is. So the people want to know my side, they want to know my story time. So from the video that I put, I was talking about from the last video that I took from part 6, I was talking about how I ended up finding that I was pregnant. Um I was gonna leave him alone because he was very abusive to me, and I was trying to find a way out, and I ended up finding that I was pregnant. Like I said in that last video, that back then, you had to have somebody take you to the abortion clinic, or because I was gonna have an abortion if I had somebody to take me, but nobody was there to take me because I told you I was like sort of isolated in that situation. So I didn't have nobody to take me, and there was my daughter. So it was like I was prolonged to be in that situation. And then, like, soon as I had my daughter, y'all, 6 weeks, 5 weeks later, I was pregnant with my son. So I have like Irish twins. So it just was like an ongoing situation with that. And then, not even a year after that, the feds came. Hold on. Excuse me. The feds was there. Like literally a year after, maybe a year, 2 years after my daughter, and a year after my son. My son wasn't even a year old when the feds came and picked him up. So yep. So that's what it's about. Or we can talk about anything. It don't just have to be that. But that's what I was trying to get the people from TikTok over here. But we can talk about anything. I was supposed to have an interview with the young lady today. I'm probably gonna do it tomorrow. Um, her story time of what happened to her, and we're gonna break it up into the segments, and we'll be ready to go. I have a lot of people lined up for y'all, and so yeah. I'm tired. It look like. Mhm. The lady communicating with me right now, y'all, about this her story time. So that's why I'm over here. Hmm. So anyway, like I was saying, Vanessa, I was trying to get out of the situation and I couldn't. Not that I said that I couldn't, but me having kids by that person made it like, harder for me to like exit out of that situation. And when I was trying to get out, it was like I was asking God, like, send me a sign to tell me that you want me to stay because I was just like really tired of it. Like we had done went through like injunctions on each other, kicking each other out of the house. Like it had got so bad that I was just like, I'm tired. Like I can't keep going through this. I can't keep doing this. And hey Jackson boy, um, of course my new man totally different. I wouldn't be with the same type of guy at all. Um, but it's more like I just was like trying to get out of the situation and like me being in that relationship, being in that situation, um, it just was like, dang, here come these kids. I didn't want to be, I had already had my baby, my other son at 15. I didn't want to be no single mom. And um, we had got married after my daughter. So by the time my son came, we was together. So it was just like a whirlwind, like going down. Like it was just, oh, it was horrible, y'all. Like just thinking about it, just like how it sounds like who gets married to a man after they abuse him. And I told y'all like Stockholm syndrome, where you thinking that you stuck in that situation. Like people don't believe that, but you be stuck in that situation and you get pulled in. And I was pulled in by the money, I was pulled in by the glitz and the glam. And everybody wanted me to have a baby because I had been with him for like 4 5 years, y'all, without a baby at all. So me having a baby, because he had baby mama drama with the other baby mama, so it was just like a whole lot. So it was like I was just trying to maybe help him in a way, to stay by him, to like to prove that I was still gonna be the rider for him. And I end up staying. Yeah, I got a divorce from him when I was in prison. I got a divorce from him when I was in prison because the second year after I got in, okay, so the whole time I was incarcerated, while we was going to trial, um, me and him was in communication. He was still like having his mom come see me or whatever, whatever. And then like year two, when I got to prison, it just like dwindled down because by now in 2 years, you ain't the same person. You shouldn't be the same person you was 2 years ago. Like in 2 years, if I'm the same person I was right now, I ain't something ain't right. So in those 2 years now, I was building my confidence back up, getting myself back together, and I don't have this person like, hovering over me or like, um, should I say, uh, just being in a way of me, of being who I was. And I didn't have that person, to like hover over me. I didn't have that person to like be terrified of. And I found out who I was. And as I told y'all before, like prison saved me from like that situation. Like I begged God, y'all, to take this man away from me or to take me away from him, like to pull me out of that abyss, because that's what I was in. And not even 2 weeks after I was praying for that, y'all, guess what? The feds was picking me up. But yeah, I got a divorce from him. And when I was incarcerated, and he didn't want to sign the paperwork. Like I had to send paperwork out there like 3 times, y'all, to work the prison that he was at, and he was refusing the paperwork. So I had to write the judge. Me and my friend wrote the judge like, listen, um, we have, there's nothing between us. We didn't have anything. So only thing that I wanted to do was just get myself out of that situation by the time I came home. And like maybe a year before I came home, he said, yeah, the judge was like, I'm not gonna make you wait any longer. You out of that situation. And I was so relieved. And like I told her from the last live, like even when I got out, he was still trying to like use those same tactics on me, baby. I'm not the same. I'm not 23 years old anymore. I'm 32 now. Like it was like the opposite of the ages. I'm not 23. I'm 32 now. You can't pull that on me. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly who I am. And that just wasn't it. Mm-mm. That wasn't it for me. So, yep. And when I got pregnant from him and I had the 2 kids, like the abuse wasn't as bad, but it was bad because my daughter was 5 months old and I was 4 months pregnant, y'all, and he blacked my eye. Um, and he blacked my eye because he was mad about going to the casino. He was one of those type of people when something didn't go right in his life, he took it out on me. Or if he was having a bad day, he took it out on me. And that's what happened. And I remember I was actually holding my daughter laying in the bed. You know how you can be laying down and holding the baby at the same time? And he came in the house and I said something slick. And I no, he was like, I lost my money. I told him, stay out of there. And when I told him to stay out of there, before I knew it, he had done black my eye. So yeah. And I was 4 months pregnant and my daughter was 5 months old. And it was just like, wow. And then it was no more beatings after that. And then because by now I am fighting him, like I'm fighting him back. It ain't just no, you just gonna hit me. And it's gonna be over with. We're gonna fight today. And after that, it was like everything just went so fast. Like we wasn't together, and like by the time the feds came, like he went to jail. Uh, we was on like the borderline of like not being together then, but the only thing that was keeping me there, promise y'all, the only thing that was keeping me there was them kids. Kid you not. Like I was just like only there for my kids at this time. And when he left, the reason why I was okay, so the reason why I prayed for him to leave me alone, y'all, was because he was a womanizer at the same time. He just did not jump on me like he had multiple women. When you in that type of environment and that type of lifestyle, women come out of the woodworks. They don't care who you is, what you is. If you got some money, you got a name for yourself, they are there. And they don't care what position, what place they gotta be in. They'll wait up all night. They'll let you make their excuses for them. It don't matter if you in a position or a certain type of position and you a person who got something going on. Women gonna wait. It don't matter who you is, what you is, how it is. And he had so many different types of women, y'all. To the point where he was taking DNA tests in the jailhouse and just having to let me know because he knew the results was gonna come home to me. And he was like, I had to get swapped because somebody talking about I'm their baby, daddy. That was one situation. Then we had another situation where he was literally talking to other women. When he hung up with me, he had called one of his homeboys and had them put somebody on three-way. And just so happened, I was down there and picked up the phone and I'm like, who calling? And the girl was calling my other homeboy name and was like, "Did he call you?" I'm like, "Who's she talking about?" And it just came out. So that particular day, I was like, "Wait a minute." So I'm running a trap. Helping you with your case. I'm running around for your attorneys. I'm making sure everything's straight between like your books. I'm coming to visit you twice a day, like I was doing all these things, y'all, and he still couldn't be faithful to me in jail. How you can't be faithful to your woman in jail? Well, ain't no women in there. Oh, okay. But that's when I was like, I can't do it no more. I was like, I was sitting on my bed and I was crying. I said, God, please take this man out my life. Please take me out of this situation. I need to leave. And guess what? A week later, not even 2 weeks later, maybe 10 days, the feds had an indictment for me. Not even an indictment, a criminal complaint, and they just kept me until they indicted me. That's how much God wanted me to get out of that situation. Yep. Yeah, AB, I don't got no ties to that man no more. Not even the churn. They expiration date expired too. So like they grown. They doing their own. And it's no. We don't have. If he get out tomorrow, we'll have no reason to communicate whatsoever. But he'll still find a way. Like he'll still find a way to try to communicate with me out. Like he still try to do it right now. He throw my name out there, throw my name, and I don't be wanting to hear that. Like all the stuff he get excited about or have something to say about, I don't even pay attention to it because I know if I just was to write him or send a message to him through somebody, All the stuff he be saying, it'll stop. He just upset because I don't want nothing to do with him. Who is CC? I need to look her up. I don't know who CC Reacts is. Who is that? Let me look her up right fast. See, this how you know who is CC Reacts. Let me see. CC. Oh, I do know who she is. Oh yeah, I do know who. I know exactly who she is. Yep, I know exactly who she is. Yep, I do. I do know. I do know exactly who she. I didn't know that was her name though. I could see who she. I could see her by her face though. I know that would be just to tell her story, because she had to go to the halfway house, but I think she did state time, not fed, if I'm not mistaken. Mhm. I probably need to contact her. I am going to contact her, not probably. Yeah, I think she did state time. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I think she did state time. She didn't do federal time. So yeah, that would be dope because we can get two different point of views. Because I told y'all state time and federal time is totally different. People don't believe that, but it actually is so different. It's a big difference in state and federal time. A huge difference. And I think she's from up north. So yeah, that would be because it'd be two different outlooks, like how, it is for a girl to be going to jail up there, how they got indicted, how you get indicted down here. That I think I'm gonna reach out to her. I am. Thank you, Vanessa. I am gonna reach out to her. Um, from my point of view, what's the difference between Fed and state? In Florida, anyway, I don't know about nobody else, other prisons in other states, but in Florida, um, I don't think it's no AC in the female prisons unless it's a private prison. I don't even think it's AC in no state prisons unless they private prisons in Florida. Like, I think the microwave is the difference. I think the dorm settings is different. Because I think prison in Florida they have like open bay in certain prisons. But in the prisons I was in, you have like cubicles. Um, in all the facilities I was in except one, you have like you either have three-tier bunk beds or you have two-tier bunks. Um, you actually get and at camp you get a mattress. You get like a full a full I'm gonna say twin size mattress in the bed at camp. Um, and When I was in Danbury, Connecticut, you get a full size mattress there too. The TV rooms, like the TVs in state prison, I think they on the wall and they have like big old fans. So you really be hot in the summertime in Florida when you in prison down here, but in the feds you have AC. Um, I think the dorm settings is different. I think the control movement is different from state and federal prison. But that's just what I heard because I never been to state prison. I only been to federal prison, so I don't know. But that's from what I heard from people that done been in prison, females that done been in prison, like my cousins, my sister. They done told me the difference between that. That's the difference. Yeah, I think that's. But I don't know how it is because like the time in Danbury that I did, it was like a old like it. The prison in Danbury remind you. I don't know if y'all have seen the movie The Shawshank Redemption, but the way the compound set up, like you only can look up to look outside. Um, but it's like so old and so like decrepit because like the showers had mold on 'em. That's why they moved the women out of that prison and moved us in the places where we were closer to home to because it was just that bad. So they sent the men there to fix the prison or to free labor, basically, to help them fix the prison. So it's a male facility now, but it was like, oh, like you could see the mold, you could see the. It was just disgusting. Like I think that was my hardest time in Danbury, and it was cold. You get every season, winter, spring, summer, fall, and I'm a like true Floridian. It was horrible, and oh my god. It was bad, but it was like a free fall camp, like I mean prison, like nobody got in trouble. And when you did get in trouble, you just go to the shoe, come out, people be screaming and playing. Um, oh well, it was like it was depressing because it was just so old. So think about when it snows a lot in Connecticut. When it's fall, the trees is falling, leaves everywhere. And when it's hot, it's like a dry heat. And when it's spring, it's spring. Like it was very it reminded me of if y'all can if I could put a prison to a movie, The Shawshank Redemption is that one. The Shawshank Redemption is put you in the mind of the prison in Danbury. But people liked that prison. I ain't like it. I was trying to get back down south. They liked it. Oh, and Vanessa, um, federal prison, they send you everywhere in the United States. They don't care if you from this place, this place, this place. They gonna send you wherever. In the state prison, you only get sent to your local, not local, but to the wherever the prison's at in Florida. Hmm. It was depressing to me. Oh yeah, so y'all back to the story. I was having a fight, girls. Like I had to fight. Like I'm telling, I fought at least like I'm gonna count in my head, like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 girls, 13, 14, 15, a lot. Um, and a lot of the time I was fighting his baby mama because she was for a long time I didn't indulge in what him and her had going on. I would let them deal with that, and then she started dragging me into it, y'all. And I just had to like show her like, listen, I just don't say nothing to you because I'm not trying to fight you, but I'm not a pushover. And I had to beat her up a few times, y'all. It was even crazy because she ended up going to prison because of me, y'all. She tried to fight me when I was pregnant, but I was by the time the police got there, I was beating her up. But because she was in violation of being somewhere she was supposed to be in because I was pregnant, she ended up getting aggravated battery on a pregnant woman. And I didn't even have to press charges. They were just ready for her to go to jail. But I think it was a tactic to make her be angry at him because she ended up testifying against him in the trial. So I think that all was just like a police tactic for real. Get her mad enough to be able to testify against him. I think that's what that was. So yeah, I had to fight a whole bunch of people. Like it was just sickening. Very sickening. Whew. Oh my yes, I flew on Con Air a few times. I flew on Con Air from Florida to I flew on Con Air from Florida to the holding center in Oklahoma City. I said in Oklahoma City, y'all, for like 3 weeks because if it's snow on the ground or ice on the ground, they not flying nobody out. And I got transferred like right during the holidays. And I had to sit in Oklahoma for like I think Christmas and New Year's, and then right after that they sent us out. So I got stuck in Oklahoma on Con Air for Christmas and for New Year's, and um, I ended up going from there to Danbury, from yeah Oklahoma to Danbury. But listen, let me tell y'all how crazy Con Air is. So in the front is where in the front. Oh yeah, you from Oklahoma? Yeah, I was in Oklahoma, the transit center. So in the front, y'all, of the so say if it's the plane. So in the front of the plane, they sit all the women. In the back of the plane, they sit all the men. But here's the catch: all the bathrooms are on the back of the plane. So you got men that done did hundreds of years, like centuries in jail, or finna do centuries in jail, or a century in jail, or for a long time. So you gotta walk past all those people, like all those men. So say if you gotta go to the bathroom and you're a female, guess what? You gotta pass all those men to go to the bathroom. So you're gonna have men trying to talk to you, you're gonna have men trying to get a feel, and you can't even be like um apprehensive towards it because most of the women are gonna be gone. So they just happy to see a man too. So you can't even be apprehensive to when they try to put their elbow out, or they try to like rub, like just try to and the police know what be going on. But and the girls be like, I gotta go to the bathroom, I gotta go to the bathroom. So they try to like make everybody go to the bathroom at the same time. But um it was all right. It wasn't that bad. The flight, the Con Air that y'all see on TV, it's not that. It's not that at all. It's a big old plane, just like the plane we get on in the free world, and the plane do break down though. I ain't gonna that plane does break down a lot. That is true. The rumors about the plane breaking down, that is true. But um it's it's not that bad. But when you ain't gonna just be denied man to touch your thigh. You already dressed, you already in oranges anyway, or whatever clothes you're gonna be shipped out in. So you ain't gonna deny the man to like bump you because, and that's how it is on Con Air. Jack, boy, you want to move to Florida? Listen, I would never live nowhere else in the world. I would in America, should I say? I do not like cold weather. I hate being cold. I don't like seasons change, and I like stuff to stay the same. And Florida does have a consistent weather, and I'm a Floridian like through and through. I'm a Floridian through and through. Let me tell you about Oklahoma. Oklahoma it's a clean facility. I'm gonna say that it's clean, but it's like tiers. So you got the women in the middle, men above you, and men under you. So the men and the women literally talk to each other through the toilet bowl. They pump all the water out the toilet bowl and they talk to each other through like it'd be real deal relationships in there through that toilet bowl. Ooh. A man be on the toilet bowl. Hey, get on the bowl, get on the bowl. You could talk through the vent because it's like a venting system. So you could talk through the vent. Hey, get on the bowl, get on the bowl. They'll knock like you got a certain like special type of beat if it's your turn to get on the bowl. Like, yeah, that's pretty interesting. You might have your bunkie that be on the bowl all night. No, woke TV, they don't put you in the county jail. No, it's a reception center, like a federal um reception center where they transfer everybody that's fed. But they do have the federal jail though. But no, I was actually in the reception center. So when you talk through the bowl on the thing, like they take out, it's just like being in prison. I don't know if it's at the airport or not. No, it's not at the airport. It's like you have to. Maybe it is. I don't know. Cause you don't see nothing. I don't remember seeing nothing getting off of from Oklahoma. I just remember getting off the plane and we went directly into, yeah, it might be at the airport. I'm not sure. I got a friend that's in Oklahoma too. Shout out to Oklahoma. Yeah. So yeah, it's not bad, but you is if you got a blanket that be on a bowl all night, you're gonna be upset about it because you're gonna be trying to go to sleep and she gonna want to be on the bowl talking. Her and her boyfriend, that's in the temporary boyfriend, should I say. But people do get in there and they might, they exchange information and start writing each other. So you never know, you might find love in places like that. I don't listen, I swear I can't even remember if it's at the airport or not, but I know you just get right off the plane. I don't remember getting in no van or nothing to drive to Oklahoma. I remember just getting off the plane, pulling up, and we got off. So it might be at the airport. Well, it might be. It just might be. Mm, yeah, cause you don't get on no, I ain't get on no. We just pulled up, taxi right on into the and got off. So it's probably the most definitely at the airport. I just wasn't paying attention. I was just ready to get off the plane. Mhm. Yep, yep, yep. Oh man, I feel like I'm tired, and I'm not for real. I was at the reception center for like 2 weeks. From Christmas time, I got transferred like right when it was finna. I don't even know if it was Christmas. It might have been. It might have been Thanksgiving, and I was running into. No, it was Christmas because I got my. Yeah, it was Christmas because I got my bag and because they give you a huge Christmas bag in federal prison, like with all different kind of snacks and stuff. So, yeah, it was. I was there for Christmas and New Year, so I was there for like 2 weeks because ain't no flying out on the holidays because everything shut down and because it was snow on the ground. If it's snow, ice, we ain't traveling, and that's the only thing about being in Oklahoma. Especially during that time, you not moving. But normally it take like you be there for like it be like a rotation. As soon as you get there, maybe the next day your flight going out to. I done seen girls leave like immediately. As soon as they got to that night, they was gone. But then you got to think you going from Oklahoma. I was going from Oklahoma to Danbury, so I was going from this part of the country back to the East Coast. So yeah. When I say the toilets is listen, they used to be like, "You got a blankie? You got somebody?" No, I don't got no blankie. I don't got none of that's going on. No, I don't got no. Ain't nobody. No, we're not talking to nobody. It's horrible, like horrible. But that's how people do their time. I don't knock it. It just wasn't for me. Not for me. Yeah, I couldn't do that. That bold thing, I couldn't do. They be on them balls. Um, the craziest thing I saw locked up, or the craziest thing I did locked up. Um, the craziest thing I saw locked up was it's not that bad. Listen, I swear, like I ain't really see crazy. The craziest thing I saw locked up is officers and inmates messing around with each other, or yeah, that was one of the craziest things. No, no, that wasn't my first time going to jail. I hadn't been to jail like one time before then for domestic violence. That was my first time going to jail. So yeah, yeah, I went to jail the first time for domestic violence. I ended up taking the charge, and they charged me with domestic violence because they really wanted me to tell on him, but I wouldn't tell on him, and I was pregnant. So they was like, "You're going to jail." The craziest thing I did in there, uh, not at all. I wouldn't change. If I could, I wouldn't change nothing because prison taught me like how to be like a woman, a grown up, like how to think, how to how to move, how to operate, just not out of you know, being fast or being, it teaches you how to think. You gotta move a certain kind of way. You gotta not want to get in trouble. So no, I wouldn't change nothing about being going to like that was the best thing that happened to me. I swear, literally. No, I ain't never smoked because I don't smoke. I'm not a smoker, but I did drink. You do have hooch parties. I have had friends who was um really cool with the deputies or the officers. I was cool with a whole bunch of officers, and they'll do anything you. They just like regular people. So if you be like, let me get this, let me get that up at you, and they'll bring it in. Like you can't drink you brown liquor. You ain't drinking in there unless you got a soda, but you do get sodas in prison. But most people taking in a water bottle and be drinking all day long because you think it's water, so the police ain't coming. But then they did get hooked onto it, and they started breathalyzing everybody when people start getting caught for being drunk or intoxicated on the compound. Yeah, because you could take the alcohol, they'll pour inside of the water bottle and close it up so it looks like water. It don't look like actual liquor. But if you take the soda, think if you have brown liquor and you got soda in a water bottle, they're gonna question like why you got that soda in a bottle. Like that don't make no sense. So most people drunk white liquor. And then if they had brown liquor, they were just drunk in their room. They weren't like on a compound with it. Um, like you can get any type of contraband through visitation though. Like that's the easiest place to get contraband in for real. People think it's not easy, but that's like the easiest place. So that's where um a lot of the kitchen workers are the people that kitchen workers are the people that had the most contraband. Yeah, you had cell phones, you had everything in there. But listen, um at the camp, anything you could think at federal camp, it's like camp going to school, like everything though. Cell phones, you got in female prisons. I don't know about men. Again, you got nails. You can get your hair done. You can get lashes. Women like makeup. Women like earrings. Women like necklaces, chains. Women like all that. Um, I didn't really have that many tough questions from my oldest because he already knew. But um, the tough questions came from what people told my kids while I was gone. Like family members are telling them like why I was in jail, why I left them. Those are the tough questions because from what the family members told them, like I just left them for a man. Like they didn't really go in depth with it because you know how that go. So I had to have those conversations. Like I didn't leave you for no man. I left you because I did something wrong and got caught. Um, those are the questions that I had to be tough with them. And then you get like you for me the backlash was they used to say, "Oh, you wasn't here for me." Well, guess what? It is what it is. You still here now and I'm here for you now. So you're gonna have to just take that and let's go. Because since I've been here, you done been in a whole better situation and position. And at the time I ain't know no better. So we're gonna take it and we're gonna go from there. And if you ain't wanna understand that, it is what it is. And out because you don't owe people feel like they owe kids or they owe um their children because of the time, which is correct, but you can't get that time back. So me trying to keep proving to you that um I'm I'm for you and I love you, and you're gonna be trying to prove that forever. Like you're gonna be trying to prove that this didn't happen for this reason, and you can't never prove that because they're gonna always have, especially when they done got up in age anyway. They already know who they want to be and how they want to be. So you can't really prove that. You can just go from what it is from this day and this we gotta go from the day that I got out to now. I can't go backwards. uh woke fam listen, when it comes to the family thing, that can be your worst, like that can be that can be the worst like thing. You're thinking that you're leaving your kids or your people, your children with, or your even your stuff with the people that that say they love you the most, but everybody be trying to take or figure it out. And in my situation, it was more so like I was just trying to keep all my kids together. But if I knew then what I knew now, I would have let my kids go with their dad people. It probably would have been harder for me to get them back. They probably wouldn't have wanted to come back with me because they're more situated, they're more together, like they're more stable than what my mom was and my sister was. Yeah, for sure. I would have let them go with them. Yeah, because um for me with my family, I was the breadwinner, or like they say, the golden goose. So everything was revolved around me. Like I got four sisters and brothers before me, and I got four brothers after me. So everybody basically depended on me, and I'm the middle child. So me being the middle child, everything was like placed on my shoulders. Mm. The things that I did when I was incarcerated, the soon as I got to prison, I started working in the kitchen. And once you work in the kitchen, you get to be put ahead of the list to do the culinary program. And the first thing you're supposed to do when you get to prison, I tell any person, male, female, whoever, is to program, because as long as you programming, you staying busy. Um you're not being in mess. You're not being caught up because you're gonna wake up, go to work, go to your classes or whatever you gotta do. And culinary is like a big thing and everybody wanna take culinary. So that's the first thing I did. I took culinary. Um After that you do like say if you got like you might have domestic violence, you might have toastmasters, you might have money management, money skills, you might do things like that. So you want to program like all the time. Every single day you need to be programming. And for me, I ended up working for Unicore. So that took up most of my time, plus going to culinary, plus teaching GED school at nighttime for the women who didn't have their GED. So I also taught the GED girls in there too, like to be ready to get their GED. No, I don't know how to cook. No, I did not woke TV. I did not gain weight until I got out of prison. You can't tell them pictures. If you see the pictures that I got, hold on, yeah. If you see the photos that I got in jail, I was like so small. I didn't gain weight until I had my last baby, y'all. For real, like I ain't gained no weight until him. I was tiny, like tiny, skinny, like sort of like small skinny. No, I didn't. I did walk. I did not work out at all. That's another thing people do when they get in there. You might get people who are like workout gurus, people who want to work out 24/7. That's another way people do their time. So you got like certain type of inmates in jail. You got unicorn workers, you have workout people who just work out sun up to sundown. You got kitchen workers, you got commissary workers, and you got unit orderlies, the people that just stay on the compound and don't want to do nothing. But absolutely nothing but sit and talk about people. So you either gonna be super busy or absolutely doing nothing. Ain't no middle, ain't no in between. Oh no, I take that back. It's six. You got holy rollers. You got the people that want to go to church every time the church doors open. And most people that go to church all the time, y'all, be the ones that like girls on the low, or be the ones that be gay for the stay. So working out for me. I used to walk a lot, but the thing that I used to do the most was I used to work and read. Like I would read books, tons and tons of books. Like my pastime was like books. I used to have like five. You can get like 5 books at a time. Yeah, I used to have all 5 books all the time. Or get books sunny in. Well, you say the institutionalized people. People used to call me institutionalized. Um, Sad as it may say, people used to call me institutionalized because you get used to a system. It's not being institutionalized, but when you do something day to day, every single day, consecutive all the time, you tend to pick up on those things. So we wouldn't call it institutionalized. You just used to doing what you're doing. People used to call me institutionalized. I swear they still call me institutionalized today because some things and the habits that I learned in prison, I still use them today. But think about it. Federal prison is like going to the military. Because the military people do the same thing every single day. You wake up, you go to work, you do this, you go eat lunch, you come back in, you cook your food, you go to sleep. Whatever pastime you have in between that, you go to sleep. Like so, it's the same thing every single day. So they don't really be institutionalized. They be like they burnt out. Um, Listen, everybody. Once you don't accept that your time and being there, everybody institutionalized enough because you can't go nowhere, you can't go home, and worrying about the streets in prison will drive you crazy. We used to call people with less than 5 years baby builders. You a baby builder. So and it's crazy because in state that's a lot of time, but in federal prison, having uh, um having 5 years or less, you a baby builder. So you're gonna be trying to figure out keeping up with the latest fashion, keeping up with the latest things. So like I told you, I went to jail when it was razor phones. I ain't even know nothing about no iPhone, none of that stuff. So you just don't be you won't adapt to that world. You just adapt to the world that you live in. So and the ones that's not going home, their life is prison. Like that's their life. That's their lifestyle. They wake up every day. You might see girls who on the compound be creased up from morning till night. Like they go to work creased up, iron their clothes, hair be done, nails be done, this and this. And then once they come home from the compound, they go iron their grays. It just be the mindset. Like your mindset is just being in there. Like it don't be no in between. And people that have like 20 years, 25 years, life sentences, 40 years, 45 years, you ain't thinking about the free world. And it's sad because, they have kids out there and they still talk to their kids, they still do all visitation and all that, but you have to live in there because you stressing about what's going on out there and you ain't gonna be able to change it. So you're gonna drive yourself crazy mentally. So that's one of the things that might be bad for, you know, situations like that. So yep. So and for women, if for women in prison, um, your kids is the number one downfall for most women in the and they mates. Like most of the girls go to prison with the people they be with, like they significant other anyway. But then you have some people that have their man on the street, um, and they're stressing themselves out about what he doing out there, how he doing. You can't do nothing about it, so what you stressing about it for? But you can't tell that person that because that person trying to figure out what they man doing. But when the phones cut off, I say this all the time. When the phones cut off at 11 o'clock in the feds or 10 o'clock in the feds or 10 o'clock in the state and 10 o'clock in the county, what can you do to the next morning? You gonna sit in that bunk and think about whatever that person doing until in the morning, or you just gonna figure out what you're gonna do with your time. So it's best to try to pick up a book. It's best to try to pick up playing some cards. Like some people play cards, some people watch TV, some people read books in their pastime or their spare time. Some people work out. Like I said, it just depends on what you want to do. Yeah. So nobody really cool with being in there woke. You just have to adapt to being in there. Yeah, we of course we know what they doing, but in your mind you don't want to believe what they doing, and then don't get in no argument. Listen, the worst thing to do is get in an argument with your significant other before countdown, before count time. I mean, because listen, you gonna be stressed out. You ain't gonna sleep. You ain't gonna eat. You ain't gonna do nothing until that you wake up in the morning and that phone is on. And then when that person don't answer the phone, you gonna be even mad until they pick up. So the worst thing to do is to not get in an argument before count time. Cause baby, you gonna go crazy. You gonna go berserk. Berserk. I don't even know what I did on my phone. Oh, you gonna go you ain't gonna have no good night's sleep trying to think about what they doing out there. Yep. So yeah, that's most of the things that happen. I told y'all it's like a um and for females, um, it'd be more like a sisterhood. Like once you get your set of people, that's who you be with day in and day out. Yeah, you definitely having dreams. You ain't having dreams, you having nightmares. Let me write that in a you having nightmares. Not dreams, nightmares about what they doing. Um, so but yeah, most of the women in there, they just going there to do their time. You might have some people want to have a I mean, it's just like for sure wake up screaming. You have you have listen, federal prison like college or like high school in the aspect of like the group of girls you have in the you might have you got preppy girls, you got uppity girls, you got street girls, you got sedity. It just depends on what you like. You got the older women in there. We used to have a lady in there called Gangsta Granny. Her name was Tina Reed. Lord have mercy. She was the funniest lady on like the planet. She just messy. She want to be in everybody's business. How old people be. Um, you have uh the girls that run the compound. You have the people. You have the unit snitches, the neighborhoods. She was like 80 years old in jail. She was in there for like 20 some years. She home now though. Um, she from Florida too, so she like real like she cussing you out and everybody grandbaby. Um, that's only if she like you. If she don't like you, you gonna be called by your name. She a real grandma, like the real type of grandmas. Um, but you have those type of girls in jail, like um, it people be like money is not it don't mean nothing in federal prison. Money does mean something, but it really don't to the women because like most women in prison they go to work and you make your own money, so it don't matter like really how you know what I'm saying. So the most people making their money off of like contraband, like fruits and vegetables, chicken, like um getting commissary, like the commissary workers might get the line in the commissary first. So it just depends on like the status of who you were. Like that does matter. Oh yeah, she definitely cutting up still. Yes. Um, it just depends on like the status of how you plant yourself in prison. Like you can be an important person or you can be a person that nobody you don't want nobody to know who you is. It don't even matter what color it is either. Um, one of my mentors, um, she's a white lady. Her name is Miss Shrinko. She was like a principal or like a school something, and she like taught me a lot of stuff in jail. Like I learned about investments, Roth accounts, all this type of stuff from her. Like, don't spend your money on them shoes, Helena. You need to be taking that money and putting it into a Roth account for your kids. Like that's what she used to tell me. Not listen. You don't gain. Some people gain weight in jail. That's in jail because you just sitting down, laying up. But when you get to prison, you're gonna be moving around. If you go to, I know you Jack, but if you go to my videos on my last one of my shorts, you can see me, and that was at the end of my bid too. That was like year 7 in that picture, and I was so little, like I was tiny. I was like literally like 175 pounds when I came home. That was tiny to me because I don't want to be that little no more. I just don't. I do feel better about yourself, but I don't want to be that small anymore because you can see like I was like small in my face and everything. Well, listen, the yard economy is some serious. Um, you know, listen, I didn't gain no weight in the I was like petite, like this, like when you listen. Also, people don't tell you this about female prisons. When you go to jail, um, with the status, like, cause people know who you is, especially if you be sent close to home. When you go to jail with status, when you go to jail with um being pretty, you got a shape, um, and you go to commissary, you are a target for um girls who like girls. You are a target to that. Um, because there's a lot of people that don't have money enough, and they target the women that do. So yeah, and it ain't like they hoarding you, like, but they trying to court you. They'll have a friend. If your friend know them before you got there, they'll be like, "Hey, put a word in me. Tell her I like her. Do she like girls? Do she like women?" And a lot of women don't like women. When they go to prison, they just need companionship. So they end up falling into a relationship, not knowing like what's really behind of being in a relationship in jail. That thing is serious. Uh, yeah, they be listen. It's like it's just like it's just like it's just like yeah, they be like on your trail, they be coming at you. Yeah, they was on me, but the thing with me was I confused a lot of people in jail because um a lot of girls, because you got films and you got studs. So a lot of studs liked me because of my figure. But a lot of women liked me too because of my figure. Um, but me not really um saying much in the beginning of my prison bid, um, they didn't know how to like take me. So I am to in prison right now, I'm an aggressive femme. I will be considered a dominant femme because I'm a aggressive person. So but you looking at me, you would think that I was uh in the way you dress and all these things and the contraband you collect. That's what they go by. How you get your hair done. Your hair grows down your back in prison because you don't have all those chemicals and you have pretty hair. You got pretty everything, pretty skin. Everything works for you in jail. People be like, "How you still look this age when you this age?" Because you preserve yourself. You're not eating the same food. You're not doing none of that. Um, they swarm you, and that happened to me. And they didn't know how to take me because I'm not you think that you finna come over here and we gonna be I'm gonna be the girl, but in reality, I'm gonna be cussing, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be cussing you out or I'm gonna be more aggressive with you than you think that I would be. So it really just it's just a it's for me, I was a confusing type one. Nobody really knew like, oh, does she like girls? Does she like boys? Like, does she like studs? Does she like films? It depends on what it is. I didn't have a preference at the time. But I had numerous studs, films liking me. It didn't matter. You had people who don't even like girls that will like you just because they want you to talk to them, or just because somebody else was like, "Hey, y'all seen that new girl in the compound? Y'all know who she is." They be on it. Now you can't get nobody. No, you can't get nobody who was. Listen, One thing I like I told y'all, I'm gonna be transparent when it comes to my platform. Um, I wasn't liking girls when I got to jail. I had already had experience with a girl on the street. So for me to go in there, and they a lot of people don't know that, because a lot of people go in there just like I said, be gay for the state. They don't come in there, you know, they coming up liking hard men, and they end up falling for the studs because studs are the closest thing to a man to them. But I had already came into prison. I had already been with a girl on the street, so that wasn't new to me. So now they can't get somebody that uh was already getting girls on the street. Well, so yeah, so yeah, they couldn't get me. They were just surprised. They were just surprised that I was even a lot of the studs, y'all, don't be studs until they get in prison. Cause they be chicks on the street, but they just come in as being gay. They come in like having a hardcore exterior. Um, hey yo yo. So they just come in having like the hardcore exterior. Um, and they just pick up that role. Like for me, cause I like sports, y'all. So that's how a lot of women or a lot of the films, should I say, was attracted to me because I like sports. So I was like in basketball, like my favorite sport is basketball to watch on TV and college football. So I'm in the sports TV room. So automatically the girls thinking, oh, she like football, she like this, she like that. She gotta, you gotta like girls. And I wasn't even coming. And this is at the end of my bid. Like the last 10 months of my bid, y'all, was like the worst case scenario when it came to females liking me, like girls that look like me. Um, my one of my prison sisters, I was watching. I don't. So in 2014, LeBron went to the playoffs, and LeBron is my favorite player, y'all. Um, so I used to be ready for the playoffs, ready for the fall game. So I would cook every day, because I was a cook too. Like I know how to cook in the microwave really good. Y'all can see my freezer foods. I need to get back to doing them, but I would cook in the unit. So I would have my food. I have my setup, my chair, and everything. Because I used to get two chairs. Have my me gonna sit in the chair. My food and all my snacks gonna be in the other chair. Y'all, it was like so many girls that I didn't even know that was liking on me. That was never even in the TV room. Never even part of nothing was in the TV room just waiting on me to see who I was gonna pick or who I was gonna talk to, or they didn't even care about no sports. They were just trying to like on me. So it just depends on what you like. And like when they see you like sports, they automatically think you a dominant female or you not no, you know, softy. But most films want like men or studs or aggressive film, should I say. So yeah. Yeah, they ain't care. They don't care. They ain't care. Like, and it's a companionship because most people don't even be like. You might not even like that person. You might have friends. Like I have friends that I met that I would be my friend forever because we friends because we was in a situation that you ain't better than me, I ain't better than you, but we gonna rock this time out together. And when you find a person who, and most people try to find friends who got the same amount of time as them, so that when you don't leave them behind because you feel bad leaving your friend back in this place. You know what I'm saying? Like I do have some homegirls that's in there for a long time, and I'm gonna bring one of my homegirls on the show. Real reasons, y'all. Her name is Bernetta Willis. She's in Aliceville, Alabama. She got 45 years in federal prison, y'all. Just for fraud on that. But she got 45 years in federal prison, and I just want y'all to hear like her story, like what happened to her, like what transpired to her getting in jail, like, and she's so sweet. Like it bothers me that she's still in there right now. Like it really does. Like because I know that she don't deserve that time. But because of the judge she had, She been trying to appeal for a long time, but it's like the judge she had. And listen, she from Alabama, Montgomery, and the judge she had like ended up getting caught for something, and like she was been going through the appeal process, but the appeal process been taking forever because I've been out of jail for almost 9 years and she's still fighting. 45 years for fraud, y'all. Not for drugs, not for killing nobody, not for none of that. She got 45 years in federal prison for literally fraud. FEMA fraud at that. And these people take from these people all the time. But I tell people all the time, the prison system is designed for people that look like us, not for people that don't look like us. Y'all can see that from the Tyree Nichols case. Yeah, she definitely gonna get some release. Yeah, she got like 5 kids. Yeah. And her family structure wasn't right. So her kids end up going to like foster care. Like she was going through it. She had open heart. She had triple bypass surgery in there and everything, y'all. I took care of her when she had triple bypass surgery in prison. They suck her to surgery. She was in the hospital for 2 days, y'all, and they just let her back on the compound for somebody to take care of her. And I just was there and I took care of her, like bathed her, made sure her bandages was changed. Um, she been in there. Nettle been in there 10. Like I'm gonna say she got in there like 2006. She been in there since 2006, and today is what 2023. She been in there that long. Yeah, it's sad. But listen, if y'all see her, she the girl in the picture. If y'all go to my I told y'all that last video that I posted of me showing the difference between a friend in prison and a girlfriend in prison with the old boy wife. She the last picture that I got on my page on my YouTube, y'all, and I'm showing y'all her. She the one that's leaning back with the glasses on and the hat, the Scully. Y'all, if y'all meet her, you would think that she has no care in the world. Like she done adapted to where she at, and she just she's like a brighter like when she come out on the compound, she be like she just bring like she got a glow about herself that just bring joy to you. Like she ain't asking nobody for nothing. She ain't begging nobody for nothing. She just literally like she was like 30 something when she went. She probably 40, she about in her late 40s right now, like 47, 45, 46. Yeah. She like a breath of fresh air when you come on the compound. She just like her smile, everything just make you just light up about her. Yep. She just she a good person. She just got a lot of time. She does. I told prison preserve y'all. I swear it does. Um, so my son is 25. I got a 25-year-old son, and the other day I was picking him up from work, and I had his little brother, and my baby is 5. Um, no, we haven't talked about Tyree yet. We need to. My baby is 5, so when I went in there to go use the bathroom and where he work at, I say, get your little brother, and the lady looked at us like little brother, like she thought he was my boyfriend, not my son, and she like little brother, like the way she looked like that's your mama. I was like, get your little brother. He was like, my baby boy was like, mommy, mommy, and y'all, it be like crazy how people be like, mama, yeah, that's my son. Um, Tyree, listen, Tyree Nichols' case is so sad. Like, it's sad because like it's so much speculation going on about what happened, and the news only gonna tell us so much. Like the mainstream media, y'all, is not gonna tell y'all what really went on. Like, and I learned that by going to jail. Like when I made the newspaper, y'all, they had it like it was like they had it, they put like so much more on what was really going on, but it's their job to do that. So the mainstream media, y'all, is not gonna tell us what's really going on. They not gonna tell us um 20s. Get out of here, not 20s. Um yeah, but the mainstream media, they not gonna tell us about the truth about what's going on with Tyree. We already know that. But it's a sad case all the way around the board. Yeah, like see, you see what I'm like. It hasn't been confirmed on the news because I haven't seen it on the news. Well, I don't watch the news. I be watching my phone, like on the Apple News. Has it been confirmed that it was one of his it was an ex or something? Like, 'cause if that was the case, that was even worse. So see, like all the speculation from like social media, so it's just sad about the officers in general, and I think they just swiftly put those black men in jail, even though they deserved it. Everything they gonna get, well, everything they gonna get that come to them, they deserve it because they did totally wrong. They had an oath to take, and they did not uphold that oath. So they deserve everything they got. But what's frustrating is why hasn't the white officer who tased them originally gotten charged yet? Because they say he didn't go to the second scene. Basically, that's what I heard. But yeah. I knew I thought like maybe it was like they might have been rivalry homeboys because some cops be like in the streets too, and they just tend to go to the to be legal. So I just thought maybe it was like a rival gang or something. So I ain't understand. So, but I just think it's just a sad situation all the way around. And like the funeral today, like how people watching it, like the scene, watching all of that stuff, just like puts me in a depressive mode. I don't really like you have to talk about it, but it's really sad. Like that's a really, really sad case. That's a really sad situation. And it's like horrible because it's like black America. Like, they already say that's all we're gonna do anyway. And it just seemed like that's what we did. It's already a stigma on black people. Like now I ain't have dirty cops. The reason why there was no dirty cops in my case was because they were so adamant to get my ex. Like, um, it just they didn't no, it was no dirty cops on my case now. They play dirty. Some of the things that they did, the rules that they should have followed, they didn't follow in the case. But as far as somebody taking dirty money, no, they ain't take none of that. They were just ready to get him from off the street. And um it was just no, I ain't, it was no dirty cops. It was more like the cops were angry because of how you live. I will say that. Like my agents, the people that came and picked me up, they was riding regular, like when I say regular cars, like toy Ford Fusions, like with diapers in the back seat. When they arrested me, like they had diapers in the back seat of the car, like car seats, and I'm like, what type of police car this is? Um, so yeah, I think they were just jealous because even when I got arrested, I had a lot of jewelry. I had a lot of like when they went in my house, like they were jealous about like the clothes that my kids had, the clothes that was on my table because I used to have boosters. They used to steal me clothes, and I just had so many clothes piled up. I didn't have a chance to put. It was so much going on. I had a chance to put them up, and they were like, "Oh, she can pop name brand tags," and I'm like, "Only if you know I ain't pay but $100 for this name brand clothes you finna see me put on, or $50 for this outfit." Like, but they don't know that. So I think it was more of a jealousy thing with those police officers. Yeah, oh wow, I'm tired, y'all. So that's what that was. It was more of a jealousy thing. Yeah, the police don't like. It was some polices that really did like. They were like antagonizing in my trial, not to me, but to my ex. Like they were like so hype off of picking him and getting him off the street. Like if y'all could see, we call it easing. Like when you eat somebody, you be like blowing up at them. Like the tension between the officer that was on trial, I mean the officer that was testifying, and my ex, like you could feel the tension. Like it's like they wanted to fight each other in the courtroom. Like that's how crazy that was. Like it was a lot of easing in the courtroom. It was a lot of tension in there when the officers was testifying. Like they were just so happy that they were able to get him because they hadn't let him slip through the loophole like so many times. So that's why I ended up going federal because the feds is so much easier to get a conviction than it is in the state. There's so many loopholes in the state, and once you get a good attorney, that attorney gonna find a loophole. We say Eason, like Eason, like like Eason, Easing. Oh yeah, he's still locked up. He ended up getting a life sentence, and they took a life sentence back. He got like 30 years, something like that. But yeah, he's still locked up. Yep. Um, he he one of those type of men. Like I don't. Nobody should be in jail. Like what he went to jail for, he didn't do. I will say that. What he went to jail for, he didn't do. But the things that he did do, he's paying for it through this situation. Should I say? That makes sense to y'all? Like some of the things that they said he did, he wasn't even there. He wasn't even involved in some of the sales or the drug situation. Like a lot of that stuff, he wasn't he wasn't a part of. But he in jail for what he did do, for what he didn't get caught with. So he paying for his um he had um he done reached out to me. We used to communicate the first 2 years of us being incarcerated because he was my he when I say ex, he was my ex husband at the time, y'all. He Yeah, he done tried to reach out to me a couple of times, but I checked that. I checked. I nipped that in the bud because I had done after so much time you evolve as a person. The person that you used to be last year ain't the person you today. So what he was used to, I wasn't that anymore. So he didn't like that. He didn't like me. Like we would argue through the email. So I just told the people like block the email. I don't want to have no communication with him. Like through letters, he would be mad. Like and he'll try to use the same tactics. Oh, the kids, and I would just like we neither one of us were the kids. You don't care about the kids. You don't even call them. So yeah, we just it wasn't just a meant to be situation. And I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all. When I met him, I was 18. He was 28. So we have a 10-year age gap. Plus, he he showered me with gifts from an 18-year-old child. Um, I ended up getting 15 years in federal prison, and I ended up getting I ended up appealing my sentence and got the crack law, and I ended up getting 120 months. So I got 15 years, taken to 10 years. So yeah, like, um, he, mm-mm. we just wasn't compatible anymore. So he just, it was basically because he had a lot of money that wooed me into being with him because he just showered me with so many gifts and showered me with so many things that I wasn't used to. Um, that's how he won me over until he actually showed me who he really was. He was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Like he was Mr. Hyde for like a year, and then for the remaining time he was Dr. Jekyll. You didn't know who he was gonna be. Uh, for no, he has no relationship. Okay, so he has a lot of kids. My kids are the last kids that he has. Um, yes, I was the baby. The um my kids are his last set of kids. So he got like grown kids, like 20, 30 almost. Um, no, he did not do drugs, yo yo. Not one drug did he do. He drank alcohol when he went out, but he never did drugs. He just it was mental. But I'm gonna get to that. Hold on, let me answer. What was the question? Yo yo, let me finish. No, he doesn't have a relationship with the kids, my kids at all. Because he don't have a relationship with me. The other kids, I don't know. He do communicate with them some type of way somehow, but I think it's just for monetary wise. He still talk to the mamas or he still talk to somebody else. So yeah, ain't no communication with that. And yeah, he don't communicate with my kids at all. He don't want to communicate with them because I don't communicate with him, basically. And no, he wasn't on drugs, yo yo. He was just a mental patient. He has a lot of like childhood trauma, and that's what he dealing with. That's what he was dealing with for real. Mhm. Yeah, he was a monster. Like he a monster, y'all. And I don't want to paint me and out to be that type of way, but from what I from the you know how you be like, can I balance the good and the bad? And most of it was like bad. Like a lot of like I endure a lot of abuse with him. I never had been like abused by a man to him. I didn't know about none of that. No, I ain't know what abuse was. I didn't know about domestic violence. I never got spanked by my dad or none of that. So when he started abusing me, it just I just like it was a total shocker to me. So yeah, he was a monster. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get off because I have to go get my baby. We're gonna come back on though. Cause I don't know what my people ain't. I told the people on TikTok, but they ain't come over. But y'all came, and it's all right. Oh yeah, Gates already a better person. Prison changes people all the way around the board, especially people with longer sentences. Cause you ain't who you were. Like when I was 23 years old, I ain't the same person I was at 23 to now. Like it changes your whole outlook on life. You appreciate things better. Prison will teach you to appreciate things. Well, I used to feel like I needed all this stuff because I was a materialistic person. So well now, baby, this is Walmart. Like y'all see this shirt cost me $3.98, and I will rock it every day. Like my hat, $10, $12. Like how people have to be makeup, glam, this, that. I don't need all that. That don't mean nothing. Cause guess what? In the blink of an eye, that can be taken away, and it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. So prison did teach me that the small things count. Like prison taught me that time does matter. Because you can get all your money back. You can get everything back. And I'm a witness to that. You can get thanks. Well, you can get all the money you lost back, everything back. Anything, but you cannot get that time back. And that's what prison taught me. You can't get time back. For sure. And I'm gonna $3.98 because I do not like to do mornings because I used to have to get up so early in the morning, y'all. I hate waking up in the morning. I hate waking up in the morning. I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna go lay down. Listen, one thing I don't like waking up in the morning because I was forced to do it because you can't sleep in prison. You got to be up. Everybody got to be up and out their bed at a certain time. So if I can lay in the bed, it just give me the sense like I don't gotta be up. I don't gotta be rushed to do nothing. I'm gonna get up when I have to, but if I don't got to, if I ain't got nothing to do, you ain't waking me up. And I hate being woke up. I swear I hate it. See, I can't get up at 4:30. Give me the job that work at 11 o'clock at night. I work 11 in the morning to 7 in the morning. Give me a 10 to 6. I ain't waking up. I ain't waking up early. I'm mad for you. I ain't waking up early. Oh, y'all, y'all, I'm gonna have to leave up out of here because I gotta go get my little baby together. We done rode out for like an hour and 30 minutes. Dang, time be going fast when you be just talking about nothing. I bet you do be dozing off because I would. Mhm. I would be dozing off too. Mhm. So yeah, we're gonna probably come back on um mm, probably I got something to do. I'm gonna probably do another live. What is today? Wednesday, probably Saturday. I'm gonna be on live. I'm gonna come on like probably like 10 o'clock. You want me to come on tomorrow? I can't come on. What I gotta do tomorrow? I'm supposed to be some other day, and I end up. I gotta go do something. I gotta go see my cousin tomorrow because it was her birthday, and I got her birthday gift. So I gotta make sure I take that to her. So definitely on Saturday. So y'all. So is this guy right here? He did Fed time too. I don't know if y'all can see, but y'all probably can't. But he sent me his sweater. And it say press five, life in the feds. And he listen, he is so nice. I'm gonna come on like 10 o'clock Thursday. I mean Saturday. Mhm. So y'all make sure y'all put that down. Yo, make sure you put down so you don't come in late. Cause I think you done missed a lot of stuff you would have wanted some answers to. You're gonna have to go back and watch this live. Yo. Mhm. Yeah, he sent me his sweater and he did like 20 some years in the feds. And PM. I just told you I don't like mornings. You know I am not getting up in the morning. PM. Mhm. So y'all let me get off of this live. Y'all have a great night. Y'all get yourself together because we got to get up in the morning. Did you turn your post notifications on, yo? You know if you don't turn your post notifications on, you're not gonna know that I'm live. Even though you follow me, you gotta go back in and turn your post notifications on so you will be able to follow me. Um, and it'll tell you when I'm going live. Because like when I go live, um, Woke always know I'm going live because he hit that post notification button to let people know that I'm on live. They let people know when I post something or when I drop something on my live go on. So you just go to that little link in my thing and just turn on post notifications and it'll let you go straight to that. Mhm. So yep, y'all, we finna get off this live. Y'all have a good night. I don't even know Saturday at 10 o'clock. I'm gonna come back on.